Wow, I didn't expect to be back so soon to cover this topic, but this community, this gaming genre, is rife with pedophilia and sexual misconduct. And to me it is sickening and disgusting. And this guy makes what Sticky Utah has done seem like nothing. Just to go back over, Sticky Utah, he allowed his pedo friend to groom his community, and he also allowed a sexual harasser to do the same. Oh, and just to be clear, Sticky Utah isn't a paedophile. I've seen some people say he is. I just want to clear up that, from what I know, from what I've seen, he is not a paedophile. He is a questionable person, but he's not a paedophile, from what I know. But this guy, I can't say the same for him. This guy, it's not looking good. It is not looking good, that is all I'll say. Let's start with a bit of backstory, shall we? Simply Amazing used to be an Apex Legends YouTuber. He's best known within that community for faking a world record amount of kills and damage in a game. Because of this, the group that he was associated with, called Pride, they dropped him. A day after he got removed, an alt account posted leaked DMs of him flirting with a 16-year-old girl. At this time, he would have been around 25 to 26. So what did Simply do after all of this came out? He deleted his Twitter account and moved on to a different game. Path of Titans. As of right now, he has 9,610 subscribers. He used to have a Discord server and his own Path of Titans server, and these were his hunting grounds. No pun intended. This also got a bit too loud, and in an attempt to shove this under the rug, he deleted both. When he addressed this, he said, and I quote, "I effed up. I made some mistakes. I feel like I let you guys down." Later on in the video, he did also apologise. But I'm afraid apologising holds zero weight when it comes to the magnitude of what you've done and what you've said. You are only sorry because you got caught. And since you've done this in multiple communities now, you aren't sorry. You are definitely not sorry. Someone reached out to me about this, and to that person, I thank you immeasurably. And because of that, I managed to interview a few people who have experienced Simply firsthand. But I'll let you guys listen to this 3 to 4 minute extract, and you guys can make up your mind on what type of person he is. And to the people who let me interview them, thank you. I love you guys, you're gems, you're beautiful. So, could you tell me, where did this start with Simply Amazing? Because I'm totally new to this.
I had originally just joined into the server. I seen people in VC, jumped in the VC, and instantly he started to hang out with me. I was the only girl in the VC, and he teleported to me immediately. He was just walking alongside me. We were hanging out together. He took a lot of interest in me, and I was like, okay, that's kind of interesting, but nothing too concerning. And then that went on to that, like within, we were in call for probably about like 8 hours or something like that, and then he was in my VC in my DMs immediately, and like asking how old I was and saying that he really liked me, and like he kind of felt like there was a connection, and I was like, oh, okay, well, it's a little bit soon, but yeah, I mean, I enjoyed hanging out with you. It was fun. Like, we could kind of see where it goes. I was single. I had no reason not to. And then that very quickly, was not even within 3 days, he was expressing an interest in, I guess it was like, I think we figured out it was like 2 days in, I discovered he was very jealous about me talking with any other guys when he wasn't really around, but he was constantly on me about like, oh, so like, I'm kind of like a hypersexual person, and that would quickly turn into like, oh, I really like it when you curse at me. You should do that more often. Like, oh, this might be a new fetish or something. And it's like,
oh,
okay,
dear.
that's strange. But this is, keeping in mind, like, that's not even 20 hours into us talking, is these messages.
Oh my god.
It quickly devolved into, like, what he wanted to know more about me, and that's fine. I have no problem with that, getting to know people. And that very, very quickly turned into, like, oh, I would do anything to support you. Like, how do you feel about, like, he lives in New York and I'm in Canada, and he was like, oh, how would you feel about like moving to the States? I don't really think anything of that. That's not something that I had gotten into. It basically very quickly, within like 2 days, turned into like, oh, stop cursing at me, you're getting me too excited, you're so smart and amazing, and it just kept going like that. And it got very strange, and I didn't ever reply to it like directly. I didn't know what to think, I didn't know what to say, so I didn't really get into it, and it just kind of kept going. And it just started going on into like, so like, what do you think about marriage? What do you think about this? And you think my voice sounds professional? And it would just turn into, oh, I'm visibly excited right now while at work. And he's a school bus driver.
Oh my god.
Like, and he's told us that he's been a school bus driver for 5 years, and we were able to verify that. He would message not just myself, but multiple other girls while on the bus at the time, and tell them that he's basically horny and wants to do things with them. And
well, he's driving as well.
yeah,
Oh my.
like, I have messages that I can send, and I can provide the screenshots of this. He's deleted some of it, trying to hide it, but there's quite a lot that it's very obvious that he said something in between.
For those who maybe didn't hear that because of my awful typing, I am so sorry about that. It won't happen again. I've noted it. I won't type whilst interviewing. But Simply Amazing is a school bus driver. He'd get physically aroused whilst driving these kids to school. The children were aged between 4 and 14. That is just disgusting. And here is confirmation of me asking for the age and asking for permission and consent to share the screenshots and show them to you guys. Whilst in VCs with children that were just in his community, he'd messaged the woman speaking in the prior soundbite that her voice would be turning him on whilst children were there. That is just disgusting. And I've been told that the maximum age of these kids were about 13 to 14, and he'd then ask to see pictures of her whilst, again, in this VC with these kids, just playing a game. The implications of that are quite dark. That you can even sit back, be in that mind frame with little kids playing games. It is just horrible. But it seems that Simply Amazing doesn't care about age, because what I'm about to show you is rather disgusting. Have a look at this. Let's have a look at this conversation here. So he wanted to send her a dick pic, and as you can see her response at the top, then there's confirmation saying, I don't know, just what it looks like. Then he has to watch porn to finish this. But let's have a look at what follows. Actually, a quick interjection. Why do you guys send dick pics randomly? I'm a guy myself. I know it may come as a shock to some people, but why do guys do that randomly? To this day, even I've received some. Like, me not want to see that. Anyway, back on topic. So she sends him a picture of herself saying 10 years ago. He knows she's 23. Let's round up to 10. 23 minus 10, that's 13. And look at his response. You can read this one for yourself, but this is just disgusting. This is actually disgusting. Apart from actually going and committing the act of noncery, this is the level below. Like, doing this to a picture of someone that age. And here's an extract of him saying, I honestly didn't care about the age, I was horny AF LMAO. You guys watching this, you can decide what you want from this information I've provided so far. As mentioned before, we know Simply is, or at least was, a school bus driver. He'd drive kids between the ages of 4 and 14. And I doubt he's changed careers in the last month or so we can safely assume that he is still working in that field. And I'm just going to be showing you a few screenshots, and then you guys can look at them and you can make up your own mind. Bear in mind, he is saying these when he is at work. Do you know how frightening that is? Imagine sending your kids, or your child, mothers, fathers, just people in general. Imagine you sending your kids on a bus with a guy who's saying stuff like this. I don't even want to think about it. I don't even have kids, and I don't want to think about it. Look, here it says, I'm at work now, and I don't want to appear visibly excited right now. It's just appalling. Like, stop cursing at me. He's getting turned on from that. Now, I'm not here to king shame, but the guy's a nonce, so yes, I am. Come on, man. It's just disgusting. Really. One thing we can all agree on is when we're in relationships, we do and say some pretty cringy things, for example, baby talking and all the other lovey-dovey stuff, right? But when you're not on those terms, you're not in a relationship, you're not dating someone, you're not in a talking stage, or you're not speaking to them in that sort of way, and you say things like what I'm about to read, then You've got to look at yourself in the mirror. Babe, I have to be honest about something. Babe, LMFAO, OMG, baby. I'm so sorry. I'm actually so sorry, guys. Wow. Well, duh, babe. I need you to survive. I still want to cuddle up with you, babe. I don't care about that. I would just wash you up myself when you feel ready to shower. No judgments here. Damn, you're amazing. And no, I didn't get hard. No, I didn't. I'm getting hard, babe. It's not fair. Okay, I'm actually really sorry about this. I'm so sorry. I thought it'd be some light-hearted humor in the middle of the video. Call me out if that's inappropriate. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry.
He wanted things like, he was constantly after me for nudes, and I told him, I have sexual abuse issues, I don't send nudes. And he would still keep on it.
Which he had also went to me, again, 16, and my birthday's in August, so I haven't been 16 for all that long. He knew both.
Do you have screenshots of that? If you do, I'd love to see them.
I think most of that was in BC, wasn't it?
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that was most in BC.
No problem, no problem.
He was careful about that. He wasn't careful with my messages, but he was careful with her once he figured out that she was 16. And we very quickly figured out he's not careful with anyone else. Once they hit like 18, that kind of flew out the window. But
yeah, there was someone who only turned 18, I think, a month or two ago, max, and he instantly was all over her. She had a partner. She was very much so taken. She made that very, very clear, and he kept pushing her and pushing her and pushing her.
Could you say it was borderline sexual harassment, since he knew he was aware?
Yes, definitely.
I see, okay. I'm not sure what this sounds like to you, but to me this sounds like a cunning predator. This sounds like a guy who is weaving his way around to try and get what he wants.
This girl, along with 2 others that we know of at this point, and we have screenshots of this, one of them was underage, the other 2 were not. He was going to another admin, one of the guys, and sending their nudes that he had bought off some of them, ones that he had gotten free, was actively sending them of basically every girl that he had gotten them to this guy.
Oh my god.
I will say none of them were legally underaged.
Okay,
one was just newly 18.
Did the girls know that he sent nude? That is a literal sex crime. He can get arrested for that.
Yep. And it wasn't like they were wanting to send him anything either. He knew that they needed food. He knew that they had no money, and he manipulated them, being like, "Hey, send me nudes, and I'll send you 100-something bucks."
Yeah.
And then he ended up sending 40 for a full nude.
Yeah.
So one of the
girls kept doing that.
Yeah, he did it repetitively because he, again, said that he would send 100 bucks for one nude, or 80, and then sent 40.
Wow.
And, if that wasn't the situation, it was a situation of like, oh, I'm really only interested in you. We have such a special connection. Basically what he was trying to do with me, and I wasn't biting.
Yeah,
what he was doing to kids and other people who are young. He was kind of trying to do it to Turkey, but was very careful about her.
Anything that was said to me that was over the line specifically was in VC. And it was always, if I made it very clear that I was uncomfortable because I'm not scared to draw that line, he'd go like, "Oh, I was just kidding."
But
so he'd cover his tracks pretty much with VC. Yeah. Okay.
And we figured out very quickly there was other people that he wasn't doing that with. So we figured just because me and her were as close as we were, and we were both very active in the community and being admins and outspoken, we figured that's kind of what made him be careful, because he was not careful with other people. There was a lot of other kids that he was like being like that with in VC, and people would come in and be like, "Oh, I don't know, like I'm talking to Simply like on the regular," and we're pretty interested in
like a lot of people would think that they would have something serious going. Or I think there was at one point a 17-year-old who was there for all of 3 days who mentioned that, you know, they had something serious and that she was super interested in him and blah blah blah. And then the moment that he started to be creepy, she started kind of being like, "Hey, I don't really like this," and then she was banned.
Yeah.
Wow. Eric, how do you explain this? This is multiple accounts of revenge porn, and these are only the ones that I have to hand. But unfortunately, I do know someone who was a victim of this, and I'll try and get them on for an interview in the part 2, so they can tell their story. But I believe they have some, like, personal, real life stuff they have to deal with. And everyone, I urge you to pop your head out of the sphere of YouTube and always put yourself first in your personal life, social life. Just put yourself first in these situations. But anyway, back on track. Korobez, it's not looking good for you, I'm afraid. It's not looking good. Especially with everything I've covered so far. It's not looking good at all. One of the people I spoke to, they offered a great insight in how young and vulnerable people can be taken advantage of when it comes to games like this. So if you have a spare few minutes, obviously, take a listen, because I do think it's very, very interesting.
I remember what it's like at that age. Like, when you're joining these games, this is your everything. This is your escape. This is your one time you're getting attention. This
Can confirm.
Like, this is just everything. It becomes your entire life and what you look forward to. And to have somebody just give you all this attention, be a YouTuber, own the server, give you TPs and grows and everything, you feel like you're on top of the world. You get admin team, like, you feel amazing. And then, oh, well, I kind of want nudes. Like, I'm really interested in you, make you feel like it's a relationship. Oh yeah, of course, like, we like each other. That's really easy to convince anyone who's, I would say, under like 20, even in the 20s. It's not hard to do.
And this is why we need to be careful of who and what we associate with online games, online platforms, online social medias, because we never know when anyone could become a victim of this sort of thing. And I've seen, even in real life, I've seen predators affect real life communities, and honestly, it's the damage they do is, well, let's just say the scars never heal.
With him a bit, and I was there when Heavenly, the person who made that one of the exposed videos, was actually a mod for his YouTube.
I see.
And she had been receiving, was it creep? Just generally him being a creep, and even though she had trauma from being in a past relationship, he continued.
He also told me that she was from Japan and was young and a lesbian, so he wasn't very interested in her. And then he shared his screen at one point and it showed messages, and then that made me question things. And then she did the exposing video, and there is a lot more than what he was trying to, like, play it off as.
Yeah.
He basically tried to make it out like, oh no, I wasn't interested because, like, she's in Japan, and, like, I was interested for a little bit, and then I found that out and was like, oh, that's way too far, like, for me to pursue anything, so I just stopped. That is not at all what happened. He constantly went after her.
She has screenshots on her YouTube video that she posted, if I can find it again, of him through PlayStation message, constantly messaging, asking for, attention, how she, like, just constantly bugging, saying that, they feel a connection, blah, 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 when she constantly shot him down, saying that she had a girlfriend and that she wasn't interested. And I might be wrong on this part, but I'm pretty sure she was 17.
Yeah, she was.
Okay. Looking at these screenshots, you can just tell the sort of guy that he is. And I urge people to avoid anyone like this. For anyone showing any signs, any symptoms, any red flags of being like this, speaking like this, just leave. Block them, remove them. Go on. Because you don't want to be a victim of Simply Amazing's Nancy wrath. And look at this look at these last messages he sent her. This is just pathetic. Oh, like, it's pissing me off. I'm laughing, but it's pissing me off just reading it. It's so... Oh. Okay, this is what we call... this is what we call a batty man. What Simply Amazing has written that... What he's done there, that is what we call batty man business. That's just pathetic, isn't it? If I'm being honest, to make a long story short, I was flirting with 2 girls that were... Okay, I'm not going to do that, but you get the picture. There's also a running theme with Simply. Almost every single girl that I've spoken to has said that he's wanted to meet them almost instantly after, like, the first interaction, which I think is weird as hell. I was speaking to someone, he said that he wanted to drive, they live 5 hours away, and apparently he wanted to drive down, said that they wanted to go on a date, wanted to watch a new movie. Now, to the young boys, the young girls out there, and even to the naive adults who are watching this, if a grown adult, if anyone says that they want to meet you, go to a movie, go to a restaurant, I don't know, just meet up, go somewhere, immediately after meeting them, or soon after you've just met them, or just had an interaction with them, remove them, block them. Be very wary, because in this day and age, you know, it's becoming more and more rife, so you've got to watch out for yourself, and your peers, and everyone around you. Now, this next insert from one of my interviews that I did, this one is just very sad, in my opinion. This one's just, to say something like this to someone who's going through a lot of stress in their personal life, I think this is bottom barrel, scum level shit to say this to someone. Oh, and I do apologise for my typing, it is very loud. I did this interview 2 months ago, so I apologise for that, and this is a very long interview.
Another thing I gave permission to say was, we have a friend who we didn't know went through a similar situation as, well, Royal and the other girls did, until basically, what, a week ago?
Yeah.
I don't think she's okay with me saying her name.
Oh no, keep like real life names out of it if you can.
Oh no, I wasn't going to. I meant her Discord. But she had his phone number and whatnot, but her and her husband were going through a little messy time and were thinking about a divorce. And while she was talking to him, he was crossing the line time after time after time. When she set that line very, very clear, flirting only, no nudes, and don't take it too far. And he would go repetitively and ask for nudes and want things and say that, you know, they should have a baby and she should marry him, and it was her husband's fault that they don't have a kid yet. And crossing line after line, that's disgusting.
Well, like I said, how he was like within 3 days telling me that, asking me if I would move to the US and would I be alright with that and things like that. Yeah. And like the whole bringing up of marriage all the time, he has done to a lot of people. Basically, how old I am, I was asking about one of the ages of a girl, he starts showing me his dog. He had a comment in here that he's since deleted, but he basically said that his dog was trying to hump his leg, and
that's just a weird thing to say, like, straight off the bat.
It's a weird thing to say straight off the bat, but I work with dogs, and I have a lot of animals and such, so I didn't think too much into it until he said that. And there was another comment underneath here that's now been deleted of him basically saying, Ezra, stop it. Him basically saying, oh, it's actually like kind of getting me horny right now.
Which he had showed me that, and I might be able to see if I can find it.
If that's true, then that's just weird as hell. Unless he said it as some sort of opening joke, which, bear in mind, in that little video that you've just seen, that was them speaking from like the first day, the first time they were speaking. Do you say that as an opening joke? Oh yeah, I might get turned on from my dog humping my leg. Do you just say that? That's terrible. That's a weird ass joke. That's a weird thing to say. And seeing what we've seen so far, is it far-fetched to believe that he may have been telling the truth? That's all I'll say. I'm not going to answer that for you. I'm not going to try and, you know, make you think a certain way. I'm going to let you guys answer that yourselves. Quite early on in their conversations as well, like within the first day, he said he's a boob man, which, you know, that's neither here nor there really. But do you say that to someone, once again, on the first day? In the same sentence, actually, he mentions how he believes he's ugly and he believes he has a cringe voice. Which, the way, like in the message, the way it seemed, it did seem a bit pick-me. It did seem a bit like, you know, the ladies will know, you know, the typical like nice guy when they're really not. Like, oh, I'm ugly. Oh, I have a cringe voice. Oh, I only like boo. Obviously, you may ask what relevance this has. I'm just bringing this to you as an insight to his character, because on the first day, or the first few days, first few interactions of chatting with someone, do you say you're ugly, and do you say, you know, you're a boobs guy? Do you say that you think your voice is cringe? Do you say? Because to me, it sounds like you're waiting for a response for them to go, oh no, you're not. You know, you're a good-looking guy. You know, your voice is totally fine. I like boobs too. You know, whatever. That's what it seems like to me. Maybe I'm wrong. I love my community, and one thing I love about my community is that you guys always hold me accountable if I've done something wrong, said something wrong, or you know, done something not right. So if that seems wrong, please call me out. Please let me know.
And then this. So you're living out in the animal life. Like, this is 4 hours, and I'm not a big fan of the cold weather. Like, that was the first starting of, okay, interesting. And then this, stop cursing me and getting too excited. I'm too tired for this right now. And then anything that would make me happy. Like, in the end, you just got to do what makes you happy. And which I was complaining about my parents and such, and saying, moving to the US, I don't know if that's possible, like, where I'm at, and I don't really want to. And then, it's too soon for you to know my weaknesses. That's good, as long as you're working towards what you want in life.
Those emojis.
Oh, yeah. Anything that could possibly be said to try to, like, well, I'm glad you're able to move out and do your own thing. You deserve the money and whatnot. You deserve all these things. And I told him, I have an inheritance that's quite large, and my parents basically don't want me to get married and be tied down by that, especially with what I can obtain. So immediately, when finding that out, he's like, well, what about like a prenup, and like whatever you come with, when you come into the situation, you leave. Again, not even 4 hours in, and you're a cutie, I miss your voice already, and you're so cute and adorable, and basically all that could possibly turn into. And then I'm at work right now, I don't want to appear visibly excited. And then he was explaining, I get excited very easily, so I like to have control of myself. And this is where he deleted comments. He made comments about this. Even if I was a pedo, these kids are too crazy looking to get me going.
That's that.
Yeah.
There's no coming back after you say that.
As a bus driver, I took it as joking, because like, what? And you can see here, I said, like, what, a boner as a school bus driver? Nothing could possibly go wrong there. And there was another comment in here, and I had joked about it. I hate morning with a passion, even a really bad time, Good morning, little Sarah. Boner springs out. Why, hello there, little Sarah. And I said, I'm so fucking sorry, I couldn't not. And I was just laughing at it. There was comments in here that he's deleted, and I have some screenshots of some of them. Ezra, stop it. But that, like, again, that's not even 5 hours into knowing this dude. I've been in VC with him maybe 6-8 hours, and then this is our conversation right off the bat. And then, like he said, he's overly horny, and oh, you like to tease? Oh, I just pick up crazy kids, but like, not these type of crazy. That's a weird thing to say.
Could you say he was he sexually harassing you? Could you say, or was he just being creepy?
He was being creepy. I don't know. I would say it got into sexually harassing, but like saying things like, I'm thinking about emptying my balls when I get home, or not even 5 hours into talking to him. Too much information, my bad. And then it would just, yeah, because when I get horny, I tend to talk crazy and look creepy. He used this as a cover-up a lot of the time of, oh, I'm just horny, or oh, I was drinking, or oh, I got high, or he doesn't get high, and I've seen what he was like drunk. It was a fucking disaster. But he would then do like a fake drunk act with other people, and we had multiple conversations going, and we would actually see them behind the scenes of like, one person he's talking to is saying, oh, you seem like really inebriated, like you can hardly spell, like your words are all messed up, this is definitely not English. And then 2 minutes later he's talking to a different person, and it's completely fine sentences, everything is grammatic, no problems, and it flipped as it wanted. See, I'm driving right now hard. There was other conversations in here that he's deleted, and I have some screenshots of it, but I was trying to, like, dude, you're working.
So now we have a nice little insight into Simply Amazing and how he thinks and how he operates. Now it's time for me to ask you a question. Let's say you're messaging someone. Actually, no, let's say, think of a YouTuber you like, okay? think of any YouTuber. You start messaging them, or they message you actually. You hop in VC with them, you play with them, you do whatever is in their niche. And then they message you straight after, saying that they're a boob guy or girl. Saying that they think they're ugly, they have a cringe voice, acting like a pick-me. And then they start saying that they get excited when you swear at them. They start saying they get turned on. They're hard whilst driving a bus full of little kids. How do you react, and what are you thinking? Because this ain't normal behaviour. This is not normal behaviour.
Driving right now hard. There was other conversations in here that he's deleted, and I have some screenshots of it, but I was trying to, like, dude, you're working. Think of a grandpa in a shower. Saggy old man balls. Come on.
How old were the kids? Do you know how old the kids were that he was driving to school? Grade school. How old is that? I'm not familiar.
Elementary, like
elementary.
Kindergarten to grade 8.
So is that like? I'm not familiar with the American. Is that like 15, 12, 13? I don't know.
Oh god, no, like young up to that. Let me see.
Hold on, what grades did you say?
Kindergarten to grade 8.
Kindergarten would be 4, 5, and grade 8 would be 13.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that would be correct.
That is so, sickening.
The youngest would be 4, the oldest would be 14, and I just Google checked that.
Yeah, and it's slightly different with the US, so no, it would still work. Is youngest would be 4, oldest would be 14 due to birthdays.
I don't know. Anyway, this video's gotten very, very long, and if you've watched this far, thank you so much. There is going to be a part 2, because all the voice extracts that you've heard in this video, that is from 1 out of the 3 interviews that I've done so far, and this interview that's in this video is 1 hour and 50 minutes long, and we're only at the 40-minute mark, so there's so much more. Then there's 2 more full interviews I have to edit down and add into a part 2, and then we will see where we are. And to everyone who's let me interview them, thank you so much. You are amazing. And I believe there is someone who is trying to reach out to me who is a victim of Simply as well, and I've given them my Discord, but they haven't reached out to me yet, so what will be. And yeah, I'm sorry for the delayed content. I haven't been lucky with illness in 2023. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day, life, and be wary out there.